So, hello and welcome to the Human Behind the Career Brand podcast. I'm the host, Jeanette Walton. I'm a career brand consultant and a human matters champion, committed to helping others deep dive into their many human facets that make them unique, fabulous beings. Research is indicating that humans more than ever are craving human connection across both professional and consumer and probably personal contexts. And this is despite, and maybe even because of, the onslaught of AI and other digital technologies. So my primary mission with this podcast is to inspire each of us to value and appreciate our multifaceted strengths, experiences, and offerings. And that's both as professionals and as broader human beings. And to highlight that human stories and connections will always matter, both personally and professionally. So I'm really excited to introduce my next guest for this podcast series, who is Max, or Amin is his Persian version of Max, Mortezapour. So in addition to Max's long-term cross-country career in energy, oil and gas, and that includes as an engineer, as a consultant, and as a business development executive in the energy transition space, who is currently undertaking PhD research focused on Australia's Beetaloo Sub-basin shale gas development, a major project. Max has for many years been involved in voluntary work, including for UNICEF. With both cultural and professional origins in Iran, Max has been living and working in Australia for many years now, where he has continued to uphold his human values of giving back and helping to make the world a better place for everyone. And how wonderful is that? His many contributions and activities for the global humanitarian charity UNICEF include community engagement and awareness, youth advocacy, digital in-field and event volunteering, fundraising and campaign support, as well as actively supporting the learning and mentoring among children. So welcome, Max. It is so lovely to have you here on the podcast.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity given to be in this podcast.
Wonderful. So let's get started by asking you what if we think about UNICEF, you've obviously done a fair bit of voluntary work, but if we think about UNICEF in particular, what made you get into doing all this volunteering work for UNICEF? What inspired you?
I like to give back to community, both to Australian community and to global community. I think in that sense, UNICEF has a very unique value proposition in terms of global reach, and your message gets to a wider audience.
Yep, that makes sense. And the world is certainly getting smaller, isn't it?
Yes.
I think professionally as well as personally, yeah. The world's got a lot smaller, so we all are becoming global citizens. So that's a great global mindset to have. And how do you think your voluntary work has really benefited you personally?
I think I have achieved a lot of my personal achievement in my life, especially being in Australia, such a lovely country. I've been given a lot of opportunity. It's the right time for me. I had on and off in my career, whenever I had a chance financially or by my actions, I personally developed the skills and helped the community. Personally wise, every time I do that, I feel a greater version of myself, to be honest. It's something that gives me passion, positivity, a lot of motivation to do it more and more.
Yes, it's very soul enriching, I think, isn't it? Volunteering,
Yes,
helping others. Yeah.
exactly.
And what about from a professional perspective? How would you say your voluntary work is beneficial to what you do professionally?
Very good question. I have every time I have more engagement with those kind of voluntary work, I get to know more about the human side of people, and that's very powerful. So there's two ways of thinking at colleagues, as people who are working with you, the clients that you're providing services, looking at a business perspective, which is positive. Better way of looking at things is looking at the human side of things, and I found
Yeah.
it works much better when you talk to the human side of every individual. The outcome is much more win-win, more positive for a community, more fast-paced, has more momentum.
100%. When it's fueled by authenticity and mutual benefits, it strengthens those professional connections as well as the personal connections. Yeah.
Exactly. exactly.
And would there be any, if we think about your professional skills, and you obviously have quite a range of professional skills based on your career background and your PhD research you're also doing at the moment, would there be any skills that you think have been enhanced or improved on through the volunteering you do?
Again, another great question. It because it's a non-profit work, you can be more yourself. You can be more authentic. My insight on that question is that it helped me to develop communication skills, connecting to human side of people, understanding pain of other people, understanding how to influence that, how to educate myself and other people about challenging situation, how to overcome that. In one simple words is that a lot of time we look at scenarios, challenges we have in life, and then we overthink it. When you do this kind of voluntary work, you see that you feel that every other side that you are communicating with is a human. How can I touch the human side? How can I work with the soft side to achieve a better outcome, more positive outcome?
You're so right. Like when we all have challenging clients or stakeholders that we deal with as professionals, and you're so right. If you stop and think about it from their perspective, think about the human. It removes any stress or conflict that you're feeling. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
it is.
Really, I love that.
Yeah, and one more short sentence I can add to this is that every time that you're having those thoughts, negative thoughts, anything that is stopping you from thinking clearly, use that voluntary work as an escaping point, escaping route to be yourself, and stay out of that situation to find out how can I look at this situation from outside, get a positive outcome, influence my audience with much more positive approach. That's one of the things that voluntary work has helped me a lot to understand, see the whole bigger picture in simple words.
Yeah. I guess it's keeping you grounded and keeping things in perspective as well. I run a professional networking group, as you know, Max, and a lot of that is voluntary. But yeah, I find it very rewarding watching the pleasure that other people get from the events that we host. For instance, there is a lot of benefit internally from doing voluntary work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And an interesting statistic about volunteering that I found online is that people who volunteer are more likely to trust other people. So why do you think that is?
Okay. Very, very, I think, rewarding question. Very rewarding question. Is that if you can, volunteering helps clear your mind, see the human side. I emphasize on this. And helps you also read people better. Okay. And the more voluntary work you do, because it's non-profit work, the more you be yourself and you understand who other people are. Having said that, that would help tackling that question that you asked. I think, in simple words, having clear mind, being able to see the positive side of people and connecting to that.
Yeah, I think that's I think you're spot on there. It helps you to see the positive in people because there's no vested interest when it's volunteering. Yeah. So yeah, and I guess it's that opportunity to expose yourself to a range of people and cultures, etc., demographics, that helps us to better understand a range of people. And then that understanding probably leads to trust as well. Would you agree?
That's exactly what it is. And understanding, trust is something that will be gained, right? The more you work with volunteers, and the more you serve the community, you learn how to gain trust easier. Okay, because you see there are a range of personalities, range of things, range of professions, range of people with different financial status, different personas. Okay, understanding that dynamic, you reach to one single point. That single point is everybody's a human. I need to trust them to start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the more I've done this, I've seen there's a lot of angles I haven't seen before. And every person I touch in terms of communications in volunteering, I see that side more and more. And it's a never-ending experience.
So it's really deepening your understanding of diverse humans.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that you keep referring to the humans because, as you know, this is called the Human Behind the Career podcast. So we're very aligned with respect to that. So if we think about your work again for UNICEF in particular,
Mhm.
what would you define as your main superpower as a UNICEF volunteer?
My superpower. Uh, okay, I answer this question in two ways. One
Yeah.
from UNICEF perspective, one from my perspective. From my perspective, from personal perspective, my superpower, having positive mindset, feeling better about myself, helping feeling that I'm doing something without somebody asking me, giving me to do, giving back to community. Number four, I've been given a lot of opportunities in different countries, and Australia was the biggest one. So it's not that everybody on this planet has this opportunity. What satisfies me, what's my superpower is okay, you have been this, you are in top 1% of 1% of planet in terms of opportunity being given and success. How can you give it back? Giving back section of it is like donating what have been done, opportunities have been done to a wider community. The second perspective is that the type of people in those organizations, the type of dialogues, the type of personas, the type of personalities, the type of audiences, gives me more deeper insight about what's happening around the world, what type of people are more giving, and who needs more. What can we do for them? And opens up. It helps me in my business as well because when I want to work with people, I know how to handle my clients from different places of the world because we're working in a global scale of business. I don't want to enter in that to go off the topic. That that exposure gives that pleasure of having understanding of my goals in my personal life and the business, and also um, um, utilizing that with that UNICEF perspective. Every time that I put Saturdays and Sundays as my generally more relaxed environment that I do this kind of charity work, sometimes being online, sometimes going to events and stuff. I see a complete diversion from the different version of myself on those days, to be honest.
So maybe it gives you time out as well from, I imagine, some of your work you do in the energy
Yeah,
market is quite stressful, so it's
yeah.
time out. But what I guess is coming through is that trust is coming through that we talked about. Like it helps you to
Trust is
trust
coming
people
through.
more.
Is I can write a reel for you about you. I can invent, actually the idea come in my mind about creating a UNICEF will or a human will. Um,
Yep.
is trust, overcoming stress, being positive. There's a lot of psychological elements coming out of daily zone, understanding larger community. I can keep going and going and going, create a real wheel with a lot of elements that this kind of short activities, even 2 hours, 1 hour, even one post in the net, sparks those human side of every person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I noticed it, the reaction of other businesses and reaction of normal people is much better to me because that's who authentically I am. I love that side of it.
Yep.
And so they understand when they deal with me, they say, okay, this person is a different person. Maybe he's doing business, but he has a big human side. It helps a lot.
Yeah. Yep. And if I jump in from that career branding perspective, like if I think about LinkedIn profiles that I write and stuff, a lot of people want to know the person behind the brand as such, or the business. So it gives them a more well-rounded perspective of who you are as a human, in terms of when you're doing your voluntary work and other extracurricular activities, and I'm sure it gives off a lot of feel-good vibes for people. Yeah, I like this person. Look at what they do outside of their main career.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
give you this. Leave you with this insight that I work recently. We are scaling up our activities globally. I work with people from Africa, from India, a couple of countries, initiating a statement authentically rather than talking about businesses, about human side, and it connects authentically being myself. Every time I do that, authentic, they can feel it with my voice, with my passion, with the way I talk about it. They instantly clicks. They want to work with us. So I can bring business partners and people working with us. And I have we can discuss about this. Like I don't take the country name. Some countries I've seen young people, very passionate people, haven't been given opportunities. I work on this side, and they keep coming back to me. It's just so powerful. It's so powerful that they feel
they feel connected to you.
Yeah, very, very, very connected. It's not they don't feel that they are being misused, or they are being their talents are not in right place, or they can be in a better place. If you win heart of people, authentically, the way you are talking to them, communicate with human side, I believe there is no objection, there is no resistance in your customers, in your people around you. Overcoming, working authentically, believe on it as a personal value, which I have it in our business, in my daily life. Every time something happens, I try to calm down a bit, say, okay, what are my human values? Repeat by myself. If what I'm saying or what I'm doing or my actions are going to affect positively on someone, or is going to make someone feel bad about himself or myself, that side works really perfectly. I use it for a lot of positive things, and also use it for anger management of people around me and emotional management. A lot of things that people daily struggle with. We all may have stressful times on daily basis with a lot of things, with our family. The more that side grows, and it's a very difficult exercise, and the more I do this kind of activity, that side grows more inside me. Every time I'm not being on that positive human values I believe in, I deviate a bit from it, immediately comes back.
I think that is so true about continuing to align with your values. And I know personally with the authenticity, which I strive to live by as a professional as much as a person. And I know I tried probably 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I tried to go down a different road with my business, cold calling, scripts, and it wasn't authentic. And I felt icky. And most of the people I was talking to felt icky. It didn't work. People want authenticity.
Yes.
Stay yourself. Yeah, that is so true. So you you touched on why you're involved in UNICEF, but I guess if we just dive a little bit deeper onto that, like what drives you to be an advocate of UNICEF, and how would it benefit all of us to be involved in UNICEF?
It gets it more seriously involved. It gets you gets that commitment more, because there's two benefits in it. I'll make it very short. One, creates more commitment and accountability for yourself to do it daily basis even. Okay, see everyone as a UNICEF ambassador or UNICEF audience. Okay, it's very important.
As in that global mindset, yes?
Or in local mindset, in daily life, you see a kid in the street, you see a pet, you see a woman, there's a lot of values that you keep repeating those values in your head, that, okay, this is that part of the UNICEF values, that's my part of my UNICEF. Creating that momentum in your head that you live by, and it's a good exercise. That's number one. And number two is, as I said, it's a very good deviation or escape route from busy life and busy work. The social media and a lot of stuff, which I use it for my business. I'm not against it. A lot of digital transformation stuff, which is part of our business, keeps people so many busy they forgot the human values. I think that thing, both things, I do. Whoever shows interest, I do invite them to those communities. I do engage them with those kind of conversations, and it works. Who are sometimes people, when they're angry, I say, okay, you know what? How about you do this? How about you do that? Everybody doesn't show objection to it. It's something that everybody would talk to human side of everyone.
Yeah. So it's reconnecting you with other humans doing work for UNICEF.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely love that. And outside of UNICEF, so obviously UNICEF has a large global exposure, which is appealing, because you can have an impact worldwide. What other global charities do you think are making a difference?
One big one is that I am in the stage of becoming part of It's called Red Cross. It's blood
Oh, yeah,
donation.
Red Cross.
Red Cross. I'm doing my onboarding stuff. That's the second community I personally become it because of the type of personalities, type of values I have seen there. That's personal thoughts. I'm not saying it's good fit for everyone. The other stuff is niche communities. It has less audience, but more influence. Okay, stuff about uh, men's mental health, woman mental health,
Yes.
stuff about child education, niche organizations in that space. Sometimes just being broadly under one umbrella of blood donation or UNICEF is a good fit solution for someone like me. Working on those niche areas gives more instant gratification, instant pleasure to some people because they like to work with
Yes.
children. They want to learn they had a personal history, or someone around them with that they want to see women live better, men live better. There's a lot of personal motivation when you work on those niche.
That grassroots level.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that I
Yeah.
think is a different level. It's a different conversation. But one of my motivation to have a second charity organization working for that, and I'm going. It's not something to say, but I go to a local shop, from probably in the next 2 weeks to have a every Saturday personal engagement. And they don't know who I am actually. They don't know. I don't sell myself as an executive or whatever. So I'm a PhD student. That's how they know.
You're a person. You're a person.
Yeah, I'm a person, and it connected very well. And they keep bothering me every day. When are you coming? When are you coming? That dynamic, that niche space, I already love it because
I guess, yeah. So, I guess, yeah. I can see like the appeal of the global organisations, but yeah, that niche grassroots level, you're probably more likely to see the real impacts as well from what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Spot on.
yeah, yeah. And if we just go back to UNICEF, I know I'm harking on a bit about UNICEF, but one more question. What would you say to date, because you do a lot of work for them, what would you say has been your most outstanding achievement as a volunteer at UNICEF?
Aligning myself with what's globally happening. Okay, every now and then there's something people are hearing. I don't say topic because I don't want to get political about it. If I talk about it, I don't want to lose the human side of it. The purpose of it is to get a message out there.
Yes.
When there are trends globally that things are affecting and it takes time to influence them, you have instant influence, right? Humanitarian stuff that happens. Consider floods or whatever. I don't talk politically stuff because I don't have interest about that. The instant gratification or main achievement is aligning with those things and could influence it in a faster pace, in simple words.
So when you say aligning them, if we think about
aligning myself with them,
an achievement, align in what way, I guess? Can you give me an example?
So let's say in country X, a humanitarian crisis is ongoing, and then you hear it for a long time in news. You get sad about it. You see children. If they were in Australia, if they were in America, if they were in Europe, they may not get affected by that. It's a children. And his lifetime is gonna, then you say by yourself, what can I do about that? That's an achievement that you can have some influence. It could be money, it could be education. It could be just talking to them remotely or whatever. You have that funnel, that passion route or mechanism to influence that in a good space, create awareness about it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
So you're aligning action with how you're feeling about some sort of crisis.
Rather than just talking about something, being sorry about it, do something about it.
Yes.
You know, being practical.
Yeah,
that's what
love
you can
that.
say.
And that's a philosophy that so many of us should live by.
Yeah.
So I've just got a couple more questions that I always ask at the end of these podcasts. So just humour me on these ones, Max. If the world and your life was going to end tomorrow, what would your reflection be on the way volunteering has helped you to live a more fulfilling life?
The legacy left behind, in simple words. Okay. One day that we are not here anymore, all of us, or me myself, at that time point of time, doesn't matter how much money you have or who you are connected to or what you believe on.
You can't
What
take it
lives
with you.
what comes behind you as a legacy is what you have done for the community, what thought you have
Yeah.
created, how many schools you have built. I'll just give you one example. I'm working with one of my agents com- uh, business relationships in Africa. First day I said, you know what, for me, money comes second. Anything comes out of that country for our business, we are going to invest on girl education and building the schools. Okay. And
Love it.
employing locals. I believe on it. And then the more those people love you, the more this community say engagement from our business or our side I want my name go out there that this guy come here, created an impact. Okay. I'll do that for Australian community as
And he
well. But
genuinely cares.
yeah, it's really
Yeah.
interesting. It's not about, and we're humble about it. We haven't advertised it. I said, this is the legacy we are living beyond. And when I took with that branding of that's how we are gonna come to you, they feel different from us about our business, about myself. They connect. They're already in terms of they want to do business with us because we know that the priority is with a local community in terms of education and supporting and this sort of stuff.
So you're empowering them, yes?
In what sort? I'm just doing my human duty. If I can make it happen, it hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet. Yeah, it's just you can
But the aim is to empower the locals.
empower. Exactly. And that person,
Yeah.
my first conversation was, I first do care about your family, then you. After that, your community, then you. Okay, I'm gonna pay you, but that's not the point. You're gonna get your money because you're a smart guy. But who has educated you? Who is behind you, behind the scenes that when you are not there doing business? It's your family. Who is behind all of that?
Yes.
It's the
Yes.
community who has given you that opportunity to all of that. So if we always look from the top, or look from the top of the community, come down the pyramid. Spend there, it comes down automatically. If that's how I see it.
Yeah. Okay. Love that. And last question is, this is one for me, being a career branding consultant. What would be your ideal career branding to convey you as this multi-dimensional human who not only specialises in energy, oil and gas, but who also undertakes so much wonderful voluntary work? What would your ideal career branding be? I won't hold you to it, but what would you like it to be?
Okay. I will say one statement. Okay. Think about human first, then think about your business.
Yep.
Okay. That's my
Yes.
statement. Okay. That's my business code everywhere I go. In short, that's what I say. Okay. When you're investing on your businesses, invest on human first. Invest on creating that positive culture first. This is a longer version of it. Automatically, people around you will be educated, will create more momentum of your business and your branding because they have more faith on you. Because they know that you are connecting what you are doing, they are part of it. It's not just for you. That's what I can say.
So humans first is really coming through as a very strong mantra that you live by personally and professionally, and I love that, Max. So that wraps up our discussion. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing so many wonderful insights about your voluntary work. I'm feeling inspired to live by what you said with respect to aligning your actions with how you're feeling about, when you feel sad about something happening overseas, align your actions, even if it's at the very least donating some money, but get involved. I think that's a great life philosophy. So thank you for your time, Max. Just before we do wrap up, can I just quickly ask you, is there any particular events or programs or anything you'd like to promote for UNICEF or any other charities, Red Cross?
Okay. The best thing I can say is to use AI or Google or whatever, search the pages, follow them. You will receive a lot of that. That's the best advice I can say. I have followed them. I do repost them. That's the best way to get connected. Follow the YouTube page, follow the Facebook page, TikTok page. The amount of lovely people you will see there is just seeing them, watching them gives you a lot of energy. That's the best way I promote it. Instead of just one event, constantly you will receive notification, you will live with it, and you will love it.
It will inspire you, yes?
Yes. It will fuel you.
Yeah. Ha ha ha. Fuel you. Absolutely love that. Thank you, Max. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for opportunity.